Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina. I'm the makeup enthusiast. In today's video, I'm going to do a bit of a chatty get ready with me to update you on where I've been, what I've been up to, what's been going on, why there's been no videos, all of that jazz. So if that interests you at all, then stay tuned. But before we get into the video, make sure you're subscribed down below so you get notified when my videos go live. Without further ado, let's jump on into the video. So in today's video, I thought that I would share with you guys what's been going on, where I've been, because if you have noticed, for like the last year, my uploads have slowly been dropping off, and then for like the last 2 months has been like absolutely zero uploads. So I wanted to share with you, I guess, what's been going on, why there's been a slow decline in posting, and do my makeup with you. So today I'm going to do basic makeup, kind of like my go-to makeup at the moment. Hubby and I are going out for a belated celebration for his birthday. We're going out with a couple of friends, going out for dinner, and then we're going to an arcade bar to play some little pinball games and air hockey and all of that jazz. So hopefully they have like, I think they might have like Sega Daytona as well. Hopefully it works, because I think last time we went there it wasn't working. Love a good old school Sega game. I don't know, do you guys say Sega or Sega? I think Sega's like the American pronunciation. Anyway, off track. So I know you guys have been missing videos, live streams. I have been missing it all as well, like terribly missing it. But I did post, I think it was like September or something last year, that there was just something random that popped up that meant that I couldn't do live streams anymore, which kind of broke my heart because I do love doing the live streams. And it was always fun. I know there's only a handful of you that always turned up, but that was totally fine with me. It was always like a nice fun catch up, kind of hanging out with friends every Sunday morning. I would make a coffee every Sunday and we would go through the new makeup releases. Now I will say, one benefit for me, I feel, of not doing the weekly live streams is, by golly gosh, I have not spent nearly as much money as I normally do on makeup releases, because I have no freaking idea what is new at the moment, because I hardly ever go and like seek out and look or view the makeup releases on Instagram. So basically live streams every week, I would be scrolling through Instagram, like deliberately looking and seeking out the new releases. But now that doesn't happen, so I'm saving a lot of money, which is nice, but I also have absolutely no idea what is new and coming out. So a little bit of a flip side, like a little bit of a downside. But it just means that I get to focus on like my project pan a lot more than I was previously. And I think also it has allowed me to actually use, like, one of my goals for the year was actually I wanted to use the new palettes that I was purchasing before I purchased new ones. And not knowing what the new releases are, or like a very limited amount of the new releases, has really allowed me to actually use what's in my collection. I've been using like a lot of the palettes or eyeshadow palettes that I purchased last year. I've been like actually rotating through my collection a lot more than I normally do when I'm like frantically keeping up with the new releases. I still do get to see some of the new releases because, you know, I'm following a few brands on Instagram, or occasionally like the trend radar or the new release radar might pop up in my newsfeed. So I do occasionally see that, but for the most part, I have no idea what's coming out. So if a friend or something that I'm following on Instagram shares like a new release photo, then I might know and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Other than that, I have no bloody idea. Do you guys want to know what I'm putting on my face? I'll kind of let you know what I'm putting on. The eyeshadow primer was the NARS tinted smudge proof eyeshadow base. I did want to get this in the untinted version, but when I went to pick this up from Mecca, they only had the tinted version available, so I just opted for that one. And then I'm just setting as per usual. You guys know this is like my usual routine. I set from crease to brow bone, and I'm just using my little Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette. I'm using the Franken shade that I have up here. Look how much I've used this one. I have the tiniest little amount left. I'm very excited. I think I'm definitely going to have this one done by the end of the year. I don't think I'm going to have pan on any of those bronzers though, unfortunately, which is a bit of a pain. Now, for my eyeshadow, I've been going very basic of late. Basically, every time I'm doing my eyeshadow at the moment, I'm doing it quite neutral, and I'm using like a maximum of 3 eyeshadows. I might sometimes as well grab out a bronzer and use that as an eyeshadow. So I've actually been really enjoying that look at lately and the ease of it. So I'm just going to show you what I've been doing lately. I am going to be dipping into my Melt She's in Parties palette, and I also have, this is a empty palette of the Glaminatrix Nocturnal palette, but in here I have my little Project Pan, or I have a Project Pan shade and a few others. This is my Sydney Grace greatest gift single eyeshadow that I have in my Project Pan at the moment, which I'm so close to hitting pan on. So out of this palette, I'm going to use the matte. I'll probably use Total Immortal, Last Caress, and maybe a little bit of Mean Streak. This is my current Project Level Up palette. I very much love the live streams, so it's not something that I willingly gave up, if that makes sense. It just was kind of something that had to go because it's just difficult at the moment. I'm just trying to grab out my makeup brushes that I normally use for this look. Basically what has happened, and it was kind of very last minute rush. Basically there was a breakdown of marriage in my family, not between my husband and I, but one of our family members. And it meant that that particular family member moved in with us. It wasn't a decision that we made lightly, but we thought it was best for everyone's mental health at the time. We obviously really care about the particular family member. And we have like 2 spare bedrooms. I use one of them as like my filming space. We have another spare bedroom that we were only really using as a TV room. So we decided that we had the room for this person to move in. On top of that though, so that's like one layer of the difficulty for me to film. I'm really funny. I don't love filming when people are home in my house. I just get really awkward and like uncomfortable to film when people are home. I guess other than my husband, because my husband knows kind of how much of, I don't know, how like what the go is. He knows what the go is. Other people that aren't used to it, it's just a bit uncomfortable for me to film when they're home. Plus on top of that, there's just like dealing with the noise and all of that. So already it's kind of an awkward situation with that. However, this person has 2 small children, and obviously if any of you know what separation is like, it means like split custody, joint custody, all of that. So we have 2 small children running around our house like half of the week almost. So that also makes it quite difficult. Most of the time that I would film is the weekend because I work full time. So it's difficult to film now for me because the time that I would ordinarily be spending filming means it's the same time that there are loud children running around the house. So it's just made it really difficult for me to find time to film. I try and take advantage of the time that I have when I have it as much as I possibly can, but sometimes it's just really difficult to find that spare time. They're also still quite small, so while they're still adjusting to it, the routine is still kind of a little bit unpredictable while everyone still tries to figure out the situation. So it's just made it really difficult, and it's just meant that that Sunday morning that I would be doing a live stream every week, it's kind of not really possible anymore, and that does make me really sad, but it is what it is. Filming in general has become really difficult. Again, tiny humans really don't understand, can you please be quiet because Bettina's filming? Like, it just makes it difficult. So they just don't understand. So I try and film whenever I possibly can, but it just means that sometimes if I haven't had time to film, then I don't have time to edit, and it just means that there's no videos. So that's basically what's been going on since last year, since I made my unplanned post. It wasn't really in my mind how much it would affect like YouTube. Obviously, YouTube wasn't really in my mind, at the forefront of my mind when I was thinking about the welfare of family members. And then on top of that, like, I don't rely on YouTube for like my income or like sustaining my household. So if something has to give, which I don't like it when that's the case that it has to give, it's usually YouTube, because I don't rely upon YouTube to sustain a household. You know, I work full time and my work is hectic as all hell and stressful. So when stress, and I'm like a little stress kitten, I'm like a crazy little stress kitten. Whenever the stress takes a hold, I'm just like, I don't want to do anything in my spare time. My like downtime consists of like watching reality TV. Home life, like, it's not a bad thing at all. I love these tiny humans with all my heart, and I do, like, I try and think of the positives. Like, I feel like not many people have this opportunity to share this kind of time with like small children that aren't their own. So I'm really making the most of it while I still can, because there's definitely going to come a time when their parent moves out of my house, and then I might not get to see them as much as I can. But at the moment, I'm getting to see their little milestones and getting to hear them start talking for the first few times, and learning about them and seeing their like little personalities grow, and it's really nice. That's like home life. And then the last 2 months, so basically all of May and for half of June, my husband and I were road tripping around America and Canada. So that was incredibly fun and such a great experience. I had the time of my life. We got to see so much stuff. It was so good. Like, I just can't like express how much I enjoyed myself. So what was I gonna say? So it ended up being like, I think 6.5 weeks, and we traveled around America and Canada. We spent most of the time in America. We basically went down the west coast, across the bottom of North America, and then back up the east coast, and then back into Canada. It was so good. I feel like, you know that song, I've Been Everywhere, Man? I feel like that's like the definition of our trip. We went to so many places. It was exhausting, but it was also so worth it at the same time. We have like 1,000,001 photos, and it was just such a fun trip. So if you do want to see, like, if you want me to do another get ready with me with just just specifics about our America trip, if there's any like specific questions you have about our America trip, leave all of that down in the comments, and I will like endeavor to answer that for you. If there's enough people that say, yeah, I want to hear all about your trip specifically, like, I guess the specific route we took, or like the specific places we went to, I can definitely do a separate video in another get ready with me video. Again, I was hoping to have like updates for my project pans and like some videos up and scheduled before we left, but my husband ended up getting sick just before we left. And then I started like not to feel 100%. Our housemate also got really sick as well. And then the week that we left, there was also a wedding. So we had a lot going on the week before we left. And I took the week before we left off, obviously for the wedding and everything else. But it was a lot, like there was a lot going on. Our housemate was like home for the entirety of that week. So that's my eyes that I've been doing like basically every day. I just kind of slap it together and do like blending on the edges. I actually really like it because it takes like 2 minutes. I'm gonna prime with the Fasali liquid glass, and we had the wedding, which obviously there was stuff to do with that, and then I had appointments because we were going away for so long, and then housemate got sick, husband got sick, I started to feel sick, so there was so much that I wanted to do before we left that I didn't get to do. Like there was so much that I wanted to get organized and cleaned and all of that before we left, but like no one had any energy to do that. We were just kind of focused on getting well enough to be able to enjoy our trip. Obviously, filming and editing was one of those things that I really wanted to do before we left, get ahead of and schedule some videos, and it just did not end up happening. So I think like my last video was like the 20 something of April. So there was literally like 8-9 weeks between uploads, which I hate, but there's not much you can do about it. Nabla concealer. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's starting to like window. When I look in here, I can start to see like the side and like light coming through. Nowhere near being ready to take out the stopper, but I might actually have this one finished by the end of the year. Going in with my Ella Cosmetics Beauty Sponge. Yeah, so that's the reason why there was like no uploads while we were away. I did like take my laptop with me thinking that, oh, maybe I could film something on my phone and then upload it. But like Project Pan, like each Project Pan that I was doing, I didn't take like everything that was part of that Project Pan with me. So I thought that it would just be weird if I only kind of half updated things. I didn't take like any of my Pantone's eyeshadows with me or my Project Level Up, anything like that. So I just like, let's just enjoy the holiday, deal with all that when we get back. Now I'm going in with, I obviously did some shopping while I was in America, and I tried to really focus on brands that we don't have access to in Australia, or brands that are really difficult to get my hands on. There are probably like a handful or a lot of indie brands that I would have liked to have maybe purchased from before I left and then had them shipped to like a hotel or a friend or something like that. But I just didn't organize myself enough, and I was really trying to rein my spending in. I went a little bit ham with my spending in like April and February as well. Oh my gosh, February was my birthday month and I went ham. But I only ended up getting like makeup in store. So I actually purchased the House Labs foundation. I did also purchase the matching powder. So I'm going to use these today. I actually really like this foundation. Every time I've worn it so far, my skin has looked beautiful. So I am actually really loving this at the moment. Then when we got back, I again started not feeling 100%. I think it was mainly jet lag. But it took me like a week and a half to kind of just start to feel better. Like I was feeling really drained and fatigued. When we got back, we really tried to, like the day we got back, we landed, I think it was like 6 a.m. in the morning or something. We actually did end up staying awake all day. Well, I did at least. But I was like, I'm determined to stay awake because I do not want to be like absolutely rocked by jet lag. And luckily I thought that I was fine, But yeah, like in that week after we landed, I was just like, I just don't feel right. I feel like almost like I'm going to get sick, like on the verge of having a like cold or a flu. I just felt super drained. I'm feeling a bit better now. This week just gone, I went back to work. My first week of work for 8 weeks, holy moly. The struggle is real. Just trying to get back into a routine, get back up at like 4:30 in the morning for everything that I always try and go to my Pilates class. They have like a 5:15 a.m. class, so I always try and do that in the morning. I always try and go in the morning because I feel better getting it done and dusted. Like if I go after work, I always find an excuse. It was really difficult. Getting up at like 4:30 in the morning, going to Pilates and then doing a full day's worth of work. I was feeling it this week. The struggle was real. I'm just going to go in with my Fenty cream bronzer. I feel like I'm starting to make progress on this, like expand the pan and whatnot. But I don't know. I don't think I'm going to make that much progress in 6 months. I don't think I'm going to get it finished by the end of the year. I definitely am going to make some good progress on this in the coming months because, as I just said, I'm back at work. So I will be using this the normal amount, like the amount that I was using it at the start of the year. But there's still a bucket load of product in this. So yeah, the pan, it's expanding, but not as quickly as I would like. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury, what is this? This is the Glowgasm in Pinkgasm. So I normally just like dab a little bit on and then blend it out. I always find this kind of, it almost like vanishes. So I will go over it with a powder or like some form of powder blush, like powder or gelée, whatever I'm feeling on the day. I don't know. It just seems to, like, it's beautiful and it's like super glowy and it just makes your cheeks look like super juicy, but I look so incredibly pale in the monitor. Also, being back in Australia in winter when we were like over in America, like start of summer, oh, the struggle was real. I do not like cold temperatures, and I feel like the cold air just makes my sinuses like go crazy. So people always think I'm sick, and I'm like, it's just the cold air making my nose frozen, and then I just go over with my beauty blender and like blend out the edges. But as you can see, I feel like it almost blends away to nothing. Gives you like that really nice glow, but in terms of color, I do feel like the color just disappears. It's super subtle, like it's really glowy. Color super subtle. Hopefully I can get back into a little bit of some kind of routine. I don't know. Routine is difficult at the moment. It's very difficult. But I have like some videos filmed already. So they're like waiting to be edited. I think I have two more videos edited, and I think I might have 2 waiting to be edited. So we should hopefully have like content for the rest of the month. After that, who knows? We are taking it week by week here. The aim is at least maybe 1 video a week for you guys. 2 would be preferable, but if I can at least get my updates done on time, that would be great. And I've got the House Labs powder. Again, really like this powder. But one thing I did notice is this is only, is it 7 grams? Yeah, this is only 7 grams. I feel like most powders that I've purchased and like brought recently have been like 10 grams or like 15 grams. So I feel like 7 is on the lighter side, but it's a really good powder. I really like it. Like my Charlotte Tilbury one is 13 grams. I think my Hourglass one is 10 grams. I just feel like 7 is light on. I do like the packaging on this though. It's like one of those ones that has like the little meshy stocking kind of deal. So I'm just going to pop that on. Also, how have you guys been since I've been gone? I hope you're well. I hope everything's going well for you. I'm going to go in with my Hourglass palette for bronzer. So I'm just mixing bronzer in this palette and dim light. I don't want to show you inside the palette because that's like a little sneak peek for my Pan That palette. That's actually, I keep forgetting about that project that I need to update you on. So that update will be coming soon. Maybe I'll film that next after this one. I just haven't decided what palette I want to roll in to replace the two that I had in my project. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just, I don't know. Because I took makeup with me to do makeup, obviously do my makeup. But I think I did makeup like maybe like 3 or 4 times while I was away. I just was not feeling it. And like most days we were walking around for hours. I was just like, nah, I couldn't be bothered. If we went out for dinner or like, I think while we were in New York, I did my makeup most days. If we went out for dinner or like I dressed up or anything like that, I always did my makeup. But like for every day just sightseeing, I was like, I could not be fucked. I preferred my sleep in. I've been doing it like every day since I've been back at work, which has been nice and fun to do again. Nice to reacquaint myself with the process. I find it like therapeutic in the morning doing it before I go to work. Some days though, I'm like, I do not want to go to work. I would prefer to stay here and just like keep playing with the stuff in my collection. Going in with my Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm palette. Again, the other palette that I have in my Pan That palette. My Pan That palettes I do are Pan That face palette, so that's why both are in there. And again, I took both of these with me, but I barely touched them while I was away. And then I'm just going in with like this brush has nothing on it. I just use it to blend out the blush, the powder blush that I put. Basically, I'm fine. I'm having a great old time over here. But things have changed in my life. That's why it has been difficult to keep up with the routine, the YouTube routine. Just gonna run some of this shadow under my eyes. Coming back it was really nice to get back. Like by the end of it, we were like desperate to see our dogs again. Our dogs got treated like royalty while we were away. My bestie looked after them while we were away, and she adores them. She also has a German Shepherd, so it was like the I don't know, the giant and the minis. We were really worried that they wouldn't get on, but they got on like a house on fire. So that was really great. They got a lot of attention and cuddles and love and affection while we were away. So they got treated very well while we were away. Like I said, I was so desperate to come home and see them. We kept getting like constant puppy updates with the most adorable photos of them, and it just made me like miss them so much more. So they went absolutely ballistic when we got home. They were so happy. It was the cutest thing ever. Our like littlest dog, he was like full body wiggles. It was absolutely adorable. He could not contain his excitement. We are very happy to be home. It's hard getting back into a routine though. Like I was going to Pilates. I do reformer Pilates and I bloody love it. I love it so much. I was doing reformer Pilates 5 days a week before I left. I was so nervous that because I was going to America that I was going to like put on all of this weight and like come back. I missed my routine of going and doing Pilates while I was away. I missed so much, but while we were away, we did like so much walking. We did so much, we just walked everywhere. It was crazy. Yeah, like my Fitbit was pulling numbers that I've never seen before. When we left, I had every intention of like doing hotel room workouts and going to the gym in the hotel and all of that jazz. I didn't once at all. But we definitely did a lot of walking, and I think because we did so much walking, I like basically came home every day and I was just exhausted. So I didn't exercise at all other than walking while we were away. Coming back after 7 weeks of not doing any kind of strenuous or high intensity exercise, I'm definitely feeling it. My like muscles are like, what are you doing to me? Yes, I wasn't ready for it. I even like came back and eased back into it with the easy classes, still struggling. Ridiculous. So it just annoys me how much it takes an eternity to like build muscle and strength and all of that, and you lose it like in an instant. So annoying. So that's like my current thing that I'm working on, is working back up to like the fitness level that I had before I left, and hopefully I can get there soon, because it's annoying me how much I hurt after every class. Lip liner, I'm doing my Pat McGrath lip liner that is currently in my team project pan. Back to the makeup purchases, I am going to do a separate video. So I still haven't done my video of the makeup that I purchased earlier in the year and like around my birthday and stuff like that. That was one of the videos that I wanted to get done before I went away, but it didn't happen. So I'm going to split them up. I think I'm going to just do a like US makeup haul, because there's enough. I purchased enough for, I think, a standalone video. I didn't really purchase. I think if I combined it all for like a half yearly makeup haul, it would be too much. So I'm going to split them up, and I can have a bit of a chit chat with you guys about the American makeup purchases. So I can do that. I'm kind of excited to share with you guys what I picked up. Some of the stuff I picked up is like old news if you're American, but obviously like some of the stuff we can't get here in Australia, so I was like, I'm gonna grab it. I tried to not go like crazy. I didn't want to buy just in excess just because. Like I wanted stuff that I would actually use. So I tried to focus on like the categories, because I didn't want to just buy heaps of like cream products and stuff like that. I tried to buy stuff that I know that I can work through. So stuff like foundations. I think I brought like 3 foundations or something. But I know that I can get through foundations in like a reasonable amount of time. Whereas if I buy like a bucket load of cream products, I know they're going to be in my collection for years and years and years. I opted to go for things that I knew that I use or like don't have as much of at the moment. I'm just using my Fenty lip gloss in Taffy Teas. I think this lip is probably a little bit too warm for my eyes. I might switch it up after I finish filming. I don't love the combo, but I'm trying to get through both of them. I might take the lip liner off and maybe just do the lip gloss. Just going in with, this is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. This is the makeup that I've been doing a lot of late, especially like now that I'm back at work. Just like the 3 eyeshadows and I'm done. I love it. I don't normally run it under my eyes or do the inner corner highlight when I go to work. I normally just do the lid shade and then outer corner shades. And I'm done. So this is what I've been doing a lot of late. So yeah, that's my little life update, where I've been, what's been going on. Let me know down in the comments how you've been of late. If you want that specific video about my America trip, I can go more into detail about what we did and like where we went. If you have any specific questions you want to know about my America trip, then leave them down in the comments and I can definitely include my answers in that video if you guys want to see it. So it is really great to be back filming. I'm very excited that I got this time to film today. Very happy that you joined me. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe down below so you can keep updated on all my future Project Pan updates. And that all being said, I hope that you are staying safe, healthy, and looking after yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, beautiful.